Beb with that spray down!
Oh!
Will be the peak of Crossfire Philippines Valley.
Two paths, one destiny, only one story ends in glory. Welcome to the CFS Regional Finals, ang labanan for our battle for third at ang pinakaasam-asam na finals ng Team Stallions and EVOS Arcilia. Mochi and Salvatore nga pala sa ating panel desk. Kamusta naman tayo, Salvatore? Ayan. Hello? Ayan. Teka, saglit lang ay. Naantay ko lang ito kasama ko. Ayan, present ka na ba? Parang rinig ka na, men. O, ayan, kamusta? Oh, wait lang. Wait lang, inaantabayanan lang natin dito ha. Medyo parang sinipa ata nung aso nila yung nila dito. Pero just in a bit, no, makikita na natin itong laban, itong ating mga matches. There's a lot at stake here. Biro mo, nagsimula tayo with the very, very surprising feat of MATTJESS, yung astounding improvement dito ng Execration, and as well as yung 3-peat na gusto na makuha dito ni EVOS Arcilia, and finally, or hopefully para dito naman kay Team Stallions, ay ang kanilang pag-assert ng dominance dito sa ating local scene. Pero, balita ko, meron ata tayong promotion ongoing right now. Nahatid na naman muli ng ating Stove client. And we can definitely see naman, no, na this time, simula October 10 to November 4 naman. And still gonna be quite of the same drill, no? It is going to be the points that is gonna be exchanged sa aning point shop, at ang kailangan nilang gawin dito ang kanilang daily requirements para makasecure ng some of these goodies na hatid sa kanila ni Smilegate at as well as ni Stove.
Yeah, ang pinaka-rare dito, no, yung Colt na Bumblebee, yun yung pinaka-favorite talaga at gugustuhin talaga ng mga players na mahilig mag-grind dyan ng mga FFA tsaka mga pop game dyan. At ito na nga ang pakonsuelo sa atin ni Crossfire bilang magang pamasko para sa atin lahat. Yun nga ang ating Stove PC Client Showcase Season 2. So, sure na akong makakasama ako dyan. At samahan nyo rin akong makipaghalubilo sa mga nakiki-event dyan.
Yes, of course. Pero let us check out na muna dito, no, para sa mga ating late people out there na tumatangkilik ng Crossfire. Nagsimula tayo sa ating group stage kung saan walo ang mga teams na naroon at single round robin ang ating format. Sa mga moment na to, sobrang forgiving, ang daing tsansa, pero pagdating dito sa playoffs na kung saan naririto na tayo ngayon, no, pinakahuling araw ng regional finals, single elimination, laglagan moment with a best of 5 kada isang match natin.
So this is very, this is like the usual format, no? Tayo lang talaga yung region na naiiba, and I kinda like that uniqueness that we really have, no? Sa tagal na meron tayong schedule, for sure, mas matagal nating makikitang mag-compete tong mga teams na to, no? And finally, we have reached the culmination, Mochi. Kumbaga, ito na yung punong dulo. Wala na tayo ibang pwedeng puntahan pa. This is now the last chapter of the 2025 iteration ng regionals natin dito, no? And hindi na ako makapag-antay sa mga pwedeng mangyari sa loob ng labanan.
Yes, of course. And pretty sure that we are gonna be having a lot of stuff going on here. Ito nga palang ating updated bracket for our playoffs yesterday. Quite dominating. Itong Stallions and EVOS are against dun sa mga nangangarap pa lamang. Pero ngayon, dito sila magtotoos. Matches and Execration will be battling out para sa ating battle for third. At pagdating mamaya, naku po, ito na yung kinakaabangan-abangan na lahat ang laban ng Stallions and as well as ng mga Tigre.
Man, ito yung nakaka-excite, no? Parang kung makikita mo, semifinals, it's not the usual. Nakakita tayo ng mga sweeps from last year and even nung 2023. Palagi tayo umaabot ng map 4 at map 5. Ganun siya ka-competitive ngayon. Pero these teams mean business na ngayon, no? Hindi na sila magpapatinag. Ayaw nila ng blemish sa kanilang record dito sa playoffs na to. At alam mong 100% yung nilabas ng Stallions tsaka ng Arcilia. Kaya nakalabas sila dito sa ating Grand Finals. EVOS and Team Stallions, a repeat of PH Masters this year din. And baka malay mo, same results pa rin, pero Team Stallions nasa kanilang open target ngayon para ibahin na ang kwento ngayon.
Of course, let us see, no, if that will be the case. Once again, to ang ating matchup, no. Kung hindi pa man din kayo updated, ayan na, pinapangalandakan na namin sa inyo na ito yung mga teams na talagang nag-stand on the top here dito sa ating playoffs, and hindi sila magpapatinag. All hands on deck para sa lahat ng mga kampo na nandito sa atin ngayon.
Lahat ba tayo handa na? Malamang sa malamang handa na. Kagabi pa natin to iniisip, Mochi, no? Una sa lahat, sino nga ba yung pwedeng magtuos sa ating grand finals? No? Marami pa tayong sinashuffle kung makakapag-upset pa ba si MATTJESS, makakalambas ba si Execration. Pero nandito pa rin tayo ngayon pinag-uusapan ng dalawang higante ng Filipino crossbar, ang Stallions at ng EVOS. Undisputed, wala pa rin may uuga sa pwesto ang EVOS. Sila pa rin ang back-to-back champions natin at sila ang kailangan nating tingalaan talaga. Sila na sa pinakataas. Stallions, inaabot pa rin talaga nila yung titulo ngayon na hanggang ngayon, bakanting-bakante pa rin yung trophy case nila. Kasi for time and time again, ang lason sa kwento ng Team Stallions always has been EVOS Arcilia.
And dito pa man din, no, makikita at mamamataan na natin kung sino nga ba yung mga driving forces ng mga teams na ito, kung bakit nga ba nagkakaroon sila dito ng kalamangan. We are seeing players all over the place, pero it's still being dominated by such from Stallions and as well as EVOS Arcilia.
And this is a very niche KD leaderboard, no? Hindi siya lumalayo doon sa number 1 at number 2. Kasi sila nang naman talaga palagi yung naglalabas ng double digit kills every time na may nakakalaban nga sila, no? And Cetra being the lone sniper dito sa ating number 1 with Cetra and KLP specifically, no? Dalawang sniper ang nandito natin sa KD leaderboard. It speaks a lot kung gaano nga talaga sila ka-deadly sa kanilang games na nga nilalaro, no? Kills per round, of course, Kano being the one that opens up the map para dito sa Team Stallions, and I just really can't wait na kung ito pa rin ba yung mga numerong makikita natin sa loob ng laro. Sitting at number 1 still is Cetra. Ganyan ka-impactful talaga ang bagong salta ng EVOS Arcilia.
Yes, exactly. And talagang nakikita natin dito, no, that these top 3, no, of course, syempre, regards dyan sa mga nasa ating top 4 and top 10, 2 top 10 rather. Pero pagdating talaga dito sa tatlong tong nangunguna, facing against these players is practically a death wish sa mga katapat nila dito.
And it's not an easy feat talaga para abutin tong number, tong top 10 leaderboards nga natin, no? Meaning, it's not an easy feat for everybody to be able to compete at the highest level when it comes to fragging. Kung ano yung mga iniisip nating mga players, most of the time sila pa rin talaga. Pero one of the underrated appearances na meron tayo dito is Zach, Aiden, and as well as si Jeffrox. Zach, bilang isang galing impact, no? Being able to dish out so many opponents ng ganun-ganun lang is something that we should be inspired with, no? Kasi ganun talaga ka-impactful yung ginawa ni Zach para umabot ang matches sa puntong to. Kakalabanin na lang Execration mamaya. And hopefully, this is now a new page dito sa ating matches story, no? Kasi matches time and time again has always been the runner-ups, pero hindi talaga nila mapakawalan ang kwento na yun, no? They got dismantled by Team Stallions yesterday. Pero hindi naman naging ganun kadali ang series ng Team Stallions with some flashes between Zach and as well as Ninkyu. Baka yun ang maging susi natin para makuha nila yung series against Execration. What do you think, Mochi?
Actually, that might be possible, no? Not to mention that one of another strongest pillars dito na meron kay MATTJESS is yung fact na yung leadership dito ni Jason has been doing and moving mountains para dito sa ating bagong iteration ng roster ng MATTJESS. At ang nakakatuwa din dito, Salvatore, is pag nakikita natin yung galawan ng MATTJESS dito, reminiscent sa mga ancestors nila. Ayun, nakaraang roster din dito ng MATTJESS as well. So parang nare-refresh tayo sa kung ano nga ba yung capacity o yung mga abilidad na maaaring may offer ng matches dito sa current na laban nila dito for Execration.
I'm so excited, no? Ito yung matches na ngayong taon lang talaga pinag-isipan, no, ni Boss Matt para mabuo talaga tong roster na to, no? Retaining rails from the last season's iteration din ng matches. And he has come up with a second leadership role. Parang binibigyan daan niya yung mga players tulad ni YBA and Zach to flourish sa roster na to, no? Sila lang naman kasi yung naging KD players nung Impact Summer, no? Tapos akala ng mga ibang tao, anong nangyayari sa matches system? Bakit nung unang 2 linggo, wala tayong nakikitang impressive stat lines para sa team na to? Pero nung umabot, nung sumunod na 3, defeating Pacific and Execration, doon na natin nakita na Zach is him. Zach recording a 1.21 KD with the likes of Vanguard, Execration, and as well as Pacific. Yan ang naging dahilan kung bakit yung 3 teams na binanggit ko, grabe, inaabot kung ano yung gustong pwesto ng MATTJESS.
And hindi talaga makakailan at binalabog nila yung ating mundo, no? With their presence na parang nung umpisa, ano kaya ang pwedeng i-offer dito ni MATTJESS? Maraming katanungan. And in CSEC, there were no expectations from them at all. Pero look at their standings dito sa ating group stage. They may have started with a stumble, pero tignan mo naman yung apat na natitirang mga laban nila dito na itapos nila ng sandamakmak na panalo.
Di natin sure kung lack of respect para sa ibang teams no? Or talagang nag-level up lang talaga yung binigay na presensya ng matches. During play-ins, 2-0 din sila ng Gaon Gaming. Hindi rin yun bago sa ginawa nga nila in the opening ng ating regionals. No? And sa mga sumunod na matches, EVOS Esports and Team Stallions really delivered what is normal to them. Kaya nga nagkaroon tayo ng narrative na parang bakit ganun ang matches from being a runner-up ng Impact Summer with high expectations, ginaganon lang ng mga ibang teams. But with the constant abuse ng kanilang playstyle, sobrang unpredictable, Zac and Ninkyu opening up so much space para sa kanilang mga entry fraggers, that being Yaba, nandun kompletos recados na ang matches, which is something of a story na hindi natin ine-expect na meron pala silang control.
Yeah, control. And sometimes control is a bit of an understatement. Nandyan din your surprise factor na maaaring ibibigay dito ng ating mga miyembro galing dito sa MATTJESS. And even yung the moment na makapag-online dito si Zac, automatic tutuloy-tuloy na. Susunod si Rel, susunod si Yaba, susunod yung the rest ng mga member natin dito from MATTJESS. And knowing that these types of plays are definitely prevalent dito kay MATTJESS, parang malaki din yung posibilidad na siguro pagdating sa mga mapa natin, they will be choosing the ones that would encourage the most out of that.
Kailangan pa rin talaga isipin ng matches that there is still a even battle of macro nga dito. No? For the past time, Execration has been constantly improving kung ano yung ginagawa nga nilang set plays. At pagdating na lang din doon, baril na lang din yung nagsasalita para sa kanila. I feel like matches is now complete with now their peak form. Nakita nga natin yesterday, almost trying to even out things sa Eagle Eye. Pero feeling ko nga naman talaga, kung magkakaroon tayo ng pagtutuos ng mapa dito, no, I feel like Execration and matches, hindi sila kinakatakutan yung Eagle Eye na yun. So that might just be an even battleground for these two teams. Pero ang isang katanungan pa rin talaga is kung magiging consistent pa rin ba yung dinadala ng firepower ng matches. Whereas Execration, proven and tested the time and time again, they are still that team that is heavily respected pagdating sa fraggings. But for matches, binubuo pa rin talaga nila yung isang kwento na yon para mas mapatinag nga nila yung mga depensa nga nila. I feel like matches is that flexible of a team na hindi lang talaga sila pambarilan. They can also set play their way into victory at kaya nga rin nilang dumepensa because Rels and Zac combine forces to make sure na yung double sniper na yun hindi matitibag. That is a making of a championship winning team nga naman talaga. So yeah, MATTJESS, naandoon na yung formula. Makikita ba natin kung may execute nga ba yun?
Yeah, let us see, especially with the pressure that's going on and will be surely exerted sa kanila dito ni Execration, no? Kasi pagdating sa mga mid-round adaptability, ikaw na rin nagsabi with their flexibility and as well as yung mga sharp anti-strats dito din, no? They've become pivotal para dito sa matches, making them or establishing their ground dito sa ating apat na natitirang teams dito sa ating playoffs ngayon.
And ganun talaga, no? Parang may mga flexibility talaga dapat na kailangan pagtuunan ng pansin pa rin ng Execration dito to make sure that matches doesn't have an easy time sa kanilang mga entries or even sa kanilang defense. Speaking of Execration, punta naman tayo dito sa ating mga kaibigan mula sa Etiba, Cavite's finest, Execration, no? This is the team that embodies the word headshot, no, Mochi? CBN and Folex has always been that duo na pag ang usapan ay headshot, kailangan nakikikain din sila sa hapagkainan. Pero isa sa mga bagay na nag-stand out ngayon na hindi lang basta headshot, Mochi, is the calling. The IGLing of this team was the pivotal move para umabot sila sa number 3 dito sa top 4 natin.
Yeah, ZYK's performance has been like a standout for Execration na rin so far, no? Especially with the maps of Ankara and yung compound, talagang binibigyan nila ng freedom na makapag-lurk at makapag-disrupt ng mga rotation natin galing dito sa kung sino man ang makakatapat nila. And syempre, hindi natin pwede ma-disaccount yung magkapit din sa AC Vinjay as well as itong si Dino na talagang from time and time again, imposibleng wala tayong marerecall na mga prowess plays, mga highlights, and as well as certain clutch rounds na galing dito sa kanilang bagong pasok na si D. Definitely proving na deserve niya itong slot na ito at parang talagang na-amplify at dumadagdag lang, nag-i-improve ang kanilang performance every single time na nakikita natin sila dito sa entablado.
It's a slow cook process para dito sa Execration. Makita nga nila yung success nga nila. Hindi man ganun ka-consistent from the amount of games na nakita nga natin, closing it out against MV Gaming, Gaon Gaming, and as well as Vanguard. Doon natin nakita na kahit papaano na-expose pa rin naman ang Execration. But at the end of the day, when under pressure, pag kinakailangan talaga nila ng innovation sa kanilang mga plays, ZYK and A7J, maaasahan mong mag-step up nga sila para ma-ensure na yung call na nga nila yun is 100% sigurado sila sa gagawin nga nila. And this is something na kinakailangan ng mga ibang teams, no? Yung isang reliable leader at yung apat na pure aimer nga naman talaga. D, hindi natin ini-expect to. Sobrang neophyte talaga ni D entering into this tournament. Always playing LAN games. Sa impact nga lang, hindi nga umabot ng impact summer kasi na-eliminate din sila kagad. But D, he was given that chance at kita mo nga naman, Mochi, na hindi niya sinayang yun. So D is one story na talagang nakaka-inspire para sa ibang ating mga aspiring pro players dyan. And D is an example na sa tamang grind, makakakuha ka ng isang magandang success because that man's performance from recent times is hindi dapat kinakalimutan.
Yeah, exactly. Talagang tutuloy-tuloy lang talaga ng mga grind dito, no? And they've become like the epitome of that one, specifically itong CD. And when it comes to like the performance ito ni Execration, when it comes to like direct duels, crucial flanking, sometimes the timing or itong God-given blessing of divine timing is kalimitan ay napupunta dito sa kanila, no? Maybe usually being granted dito kay ZYK at certain times itong si A7J, nakikitaan din natin nun. But definitely, ito yung mga bagay na kailangan pagkaingatan dito ng MATTJESS because if they are not looking at every single angle na maaring paggalingan ng mga players natin dito galing sa Execration, naku po, isang malaking sakit ng ulo ang kanilang makukuha dito.
Gusto ko din i-point out, no, na yung Black Widow ng Execration was a last-minute pull mula sa kanilang arsenal of plays. Pero kita mo naman kung gaano siya naging effective trying to make sure na playoff ready nga sila. No? Kinanvas nila yun sa Team Stallions. Tingnan mo kung ano ang nangyari, Mochi. Nung nakita nga natin na naglaro sila sa Black Widow sa playoffs against EVOS, kamuntikan pa nga, no? Pero EVOS really had the last laugh on that one. But if we are going to focus on the beauty tsaka yung glimpses na nakita natin from Execration, they are really mentally prepared for what's about to come. Frag heavy team versus frag heavy team. Zach versus A7J. That is something of an underrated match na hindi ko akalaing masasabi ko na nakaka-excite nga naman. Not to mention A7J versus Rails. Ang dati kong kadugo, kalaban ko na nga ngayon. And this is in a makings of a possible matchup na pwede nating ihambing sa init ng grand finals na meron tayo ngayon. I'm just excited kung saan nga tayo pwede maglaban because MATTJESS and Execration almost shares the same map pool.
Yeah, tsaka feeling ko kung pipiliin tayo siguro na magandang mapa na paglaruan nitong mga teams ito, siguro number 1 dyan, Eagle Eye. Siguro Black Widow, pwede din, no? So, lot of stuff, lot of knocks, lot of pressure being exerted para dito sa kanila ngayon. Pero tignan muna natin ang mga statistics na meron dito sa Execration. Inilapag na namin din yung mga sinasabi namin ni Salvatore kung ano nga ba, what makes them great. Well, other than that is the numbers na meron dito ngayon.
Kitang-kita mo nga naman, no, kung ifo-focus lang natin na hindi sa KD, doon tayo sa headshot per kill, 0.73. Big sabihin, 73% of the time na naglalaban si CBN, siguradong basag ang bungo. Ganon din kay Folex, no, with a 0.66 headshot per kill percentage. And D, for a player that started to use the M14 in the first 3 weeks, has now evened up the game of headshot level gameplay dito sa ating CFS Regional Finals Philippines. 0.53 on his rookie year. Grabe nga naman talaga, no? Like, I couldn't just put my finger kung ano nga bang regiment ang binibigay ni Lito sa kanyang kapatid para maging solid na player. Na yun pala yung kinakailangan ng Execration, no? Yung lakas ng isang rookie na alam mo sa sarili niya may drive para mas lalo pang gumaling. As we take a look at the overall gameplay dito ng Execration, sitting at the number 3 spot, defeating the likes of Pacific Esports. Yun ang pinakamasakit talaga na dinanas na Pacific buong season, followed by Gaon Gaming, Vanguard, and MV Gaming. Those were one of the crucial wins kung bakit natin pinag-uusapan ng Execration ngayon with their constant improvement sa kanilang standings.
Yeah, totoo no. Siguro point out na rin natin, hindi ko alam kung anong meron para dito sa mga recent integrations natin sa mga team, no. Nagkakaroon tayo ng mga swap-swapan ng mga players natin. They always often fit like a glove, which is interesting. Lalong-lalo na sa isang medyo baguhan, no, kumpara sa nakararami dito sa ating regional finals ngayon na si D. Tulad nga na sinabi mo, they've come a long way dito sa ating group stage. Ang dahil nilang pinagdaan, dahil nilang natutunan. But at the same time, minsan yung mga bagay na yon medyo kailangan nilang kalimutan. Especially if they really want to maintain a clear mind, lalong-lalo na dito sa ating matchup ngayon.
Tingnan natin kung ma-maintain nga ba talaga yun ng Execration, because time and time again, some teams really do bring out the exposition dito, no? Na hindi sa lahat ng oras magkakaroon ng magandang performance dito si A7J or even si FallX. Na oo nga, nakaka-headshot nga siya, no? But teams really do capitalize on that trading game para makuha nga nila yung kalamangan to make sure it's a 3v5 or even a 3v4. For Execration, it's that type of pressure na talagang ginaganahan si ZYK or even si CBN to move around the map and everything is just spacious. Sobrang luwag at nakakahinga ng maiging Execration for that mid-round, which is one of the plays na ine-excel nga nila against Pacific and as well as Gaon Gaming. Hindi nga man natin nakita for MATTJESS because of that unpredictability of their gameplay. Kita mo nga naman kung sino yung may lamang dito heading into this series. MATTJESS scored 2-0 against Exe nung group stage nga natin, no? And that was no easy feat. So ngayon Execration with a recent battle against EVOS na alam mong galit na galit sila ngayon entering into this battle for third. High expectations for Execration, but for MATTJESS, they're just sitting comfortably.
Yeah, they're just gonna be chilling right there, especially given and granted the history the during they're still facing up against dito kay Execration, na napakalinis ng naging trabaho nila dito. And it seems like just by the looks of it, no, parang mga panahon na yun nung ini-interview natin sila, sinasabi pa nila hindi kami nakapag-ensayo ng mga plagay na yon para hindi ka paniwala, men, sa totoo lang. And given na rin siguro yung quick correspondence nila dito, man, for Nimkyu and ba maaaring ito talaga, or rather the rest of the squad here for MATTJESS can be definitely what stop them, what will be stopping Execration on the tracks here of securing that third place dito sa ating regional finals.
Kung magkakaroon tayo ng rewind ng history dito, no, Mochi, 2023 Impact, di pala Impact, no, Regionals Fall Masters, no, Fall Masters rather. Nung time na Metacore pa lang ang roster ng MATTJESS na to, no, Execration took it out 3-0. Yun yung pinaka-recent time na nakita natin na naglaban ng Execration tsaka ang MATTJESS sa playoff bracket, no? And Execration really had the last laugh. Pero ngayon, now with Execration and the MJ breeding new players now sa ating 2025 version, no, parang nawala na yung history na yun. Iba na to, no? So parang blanco na yung canvas natin with even higher expectations for the firepower na binuo ng roster ng dalawang franchise na to, no? I'm really excited for that one, and hopefully mas maangat pa nga nila yung naging competition nila nung Fall Masters 2023.
Na-comment, sino ba naman nga ba talagang di magiging excited sa laban nila dito? Pero balita ko, meron tayong mariringgan at mapakapanayam dito sa ating interview.
Uy, si Dabi Wab!
Hello.
A7J! Hello,
Salvador Bayas!
Kamusta naman?
Okay lang naman po. Okay lang naman.
Kamusta naman kayo dito ngayon, A7J?
Okay lang naman po.
Okay naman.
Okay lang daw sila, no, Mochi. So yun, A7J, may mga onti lang kaming katanungan sa'yo, no. So hindi nyo nagawa yung tungkulin nyo, no, yesterday against EVOS Esports. So ngayon, preparado na kayo with a new series against MATTJESS na. So kamusta ang mental ng Execration papasok sa series na to, no, knowing na A7J, makakalaban mo ulit yung dati mong kadugo?
Mental? Okay lang naman. Medyo na.
Yun,
More
talaga.
on a mental game.
Kahit sino may mental kung yun yung nataong nasa likod mo, no? Ikaw naman, Mochi, baka may tanong ka.
Ayan, A7J, considering na natalo kayo ni MATTJESS during our group stage, no? I mean, it's quite of a surprise, no? 2-0, maraming nagulat, maraming nagtaka. Anong ginawa niyong preparasyon para doon?
Wala naman po kaming ginawang prep para doon. Mga ginagawa lang po namin. Ayun lang. Mga ginagawa.
The usual, Salvador.
Yung usual lang, kumbaga, Mochi, no? So, ikaw, A7J, hindi na namin patatagalin pa. Baka gusto mo na nga magbigay ng mensahe dyan sa mga supporters ng XFAM. Shout out. Sige, ikaw na. Nasa'yo na ang mikropono, boss.
Shoutout sa sumusuporta ng Execration, guys. Pati sa misis ko, mga friends ko. Ito, sa mga team ko.
Bator bias.
Ayun na naman.
Daw,
Ayun na naman. Good luck sa both
Aljoin.
teams.
Huwag ka magbago, Aljoin.
Ayun. Maraming salamat sa'yo, A7J. Di na namin kayo istorbohin. Good luck sa laban nyo. Katapat ang MATTJESS.
Mukha matapang.
Ayan, kitang-kita naman siguro na yung energy nila dito sobrang on the high, no? Shoutout kay Aljo na talagang gusto ko yung energy niya, men.
Maangas, no? Maangas. Parang, yun nga yung gusto ko sa kanya kasi wag na siya magbago. Kasi parang, yun yung kinakailangan ng Execration, vibes, kumbaga.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And pretty much na magkaklos na rin kayo dyan at marami-rami tayo dito nakakilala na rin sa kanila. Hero naman ang ating mga key players for this one is no other than Zach and as well as the ZYK himself, Z and Z Salvatore.
Kita mo nga naman no, na dalawang sniper yung ipagtatapat nga natin dito no, with ZYK occasionally holding the HK once in a while. Ganun din naman si Zach actually. Minsan may kita mo si Rels, hahawakan niya nga rin yung Arctic na yun. But as it still stands, ang pinaka-narrative na napulot pa nga rin talaga natin dito no, is their flexibility to roam around the map and get those crucial kills. ZYK, underrated fragger na nakita nga natin ngayon na nasa leaderboard na natin pagdating sa ating KD. Minsan nga naging top fraggers nga natin yan at nagkaroon din ng appearance during our KD gameplay. So ZYK is that man sa Execration. Hindi natin nakakalain na lumipat from IGL now to a fragger. Zach is still him na nagiging flexible pa nga rin all around the map. I like this contrast na nakikita nga natin from leader now turn to player, from rifler turned into sniper. Ang ganda ng ganun.
Yes, and now the given na rin dito yung kinagandahan, no? Sa kinalayo lahat, kinarami-rami ng mga labanan natin dito para sa ating mga teams. Dito na malalaman saan magiging higit ang magiging performance dito. Ideally, especially given and granted our history here, seems like new compound and as well as itong port natin is gonna be hovered more towards para dito sa Execration. Pero wag lang talaga nilang hayaan itong ating sub-base kasi parang hindi masyado maganda ang history ni Execration dito eh.
Yeah, and I'm really keen on seeing those eagle eyes and compound na nga lang din no. Kasi yun na lang talaga yung naging common ground ng dalawang team na to. Ito, ang sinasabi dito ng ating keys to victory or aka points of the match. MATTJESS from underdogs to dominators no. Feeling ko yung hina-highlight talaga ng narrative ng MATTJESS from time to time is Zach and Ninkyu's explosive performance. Si Rels yung pagkakaroon niya talaga ng isang magandang pwesto into this team and being that second option against with the likes of Jason. Parang mas mahihirapan ditong malakap ng Execration. Saan ba kami magsisimula?
And para naman din dito na si Execration, no, yung pasabog talaga na ma-offer din dito ni A7J in terms of defense and as well as in winning conditions para sa team. And of course, given and granted na rin siguro, no, parang nasabi na rin natin to kanina para kay FallX and as well as kay CB and asintado talaga automatically and as well as then yung prowess na ma-offer ni ZYK to the team. Ang ating endgame para dito sa ating teams is yung fact na lahat sila dito may mayaambag. That's why they should be certain that all of the responsibilities and all of the executions that they are dependent to each other is magawa nila dito ng walang mintis. Kasi not gonna lie, you may have all the set plays, you may have all of the stuff na maaari mong ipang counterplay sa inyong mga katapat. Pero kung hindi nyo yun magagawa on point or in 100%, you will be subject to mistakes and to losing this match once and for all.
Okay, parang ready na ata ang ating mga kaibigan dyan sa ating casters. Kaya no, Mochi, kasi kanina pa tayo nagsasalita. Dagdagan pa natin yung daldalan natin dito,
na.
no? The Dynamic Duo, ang pinakamalupit at mainit na duo ng 2025 para mas malupit ang action natin dito. Bipolar and Sneaky Frog, pasok sa ating desk. Ayan na nga sila, our favorite talents dito sa ating Crossfire. No? When you talk about Crossfire, ayan si Sneaky Frog. And when you talk about Execration, dapat nandyan si Bipolar. Bipolar, kamusta ka?
I mean, okay lang naman. No? Alam niyo kung bakit ba malabo yung camera ko ngayon? That's because malabo pa yung mga resulta natin dito. We don't know what's gonna happen yet dito sa regional finals natin. So, very much poetic ang aking entrance ngayon, no? Dito sa Casus point of view. Kahit kayo, nagulat kayo na malalim pala ang rason na to. But yeah, it's the first match of the day. Battle for third. It's Execration versus MATTJESS. Man, I'm just excited kung sino nga ba kukuha dito ng third placer natin for regional finals.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Sneak.
Grabe, man. Grabe. It's the final frontier, no? Nandito na tayo finally. Parang, yun nga, no? Last week lang, kakasimula pa lang ng season natin with Impact and itong Masters. And ito na nga, nandito na tayo sa final day. I'm very, very excited for today, pare. I think Salvatore can tell kasi yun nga, iconic yung Hawaiian shirt na suot ko ngayon na has also been spotted in last year's tournament of regional. So, yun nga, very excited.
Gusto ko yung meron na siyang set na outfit na every finals talaga. Yun yung susuotin niya dito, Salvatore. Pero just in a bit, ito na nga ang ating map dito. Nakita niyo naman kung saan mas higit, kung saan mas mahina ang mga kampo natin dito ngayon. Pero pinangunahan na kaagad natin ay i-deny kay MATTJESS. And we got Black Widow, Eagle Eye, Ankara, New Compound, and lastly, Port. Salvatore, what do you have to say about this?
Teka lang, MATTJESS no? Grabe naman yung pag-challenge nyo dito sa Execration. Buong season yung hindi pinili ang Black Widow. Kung kailan nyo nakatapat ang Execration, kung kailan nyo pinofocus na yung Ankara at Eagle Eye, tsaka nyo ibabana against Exe, no? Hindi na ako nagulat sa Eagle Eye pick ng Execration kasi they're trying to excel they're trying to excel themselves dito sa mapan to, no? From time and time again with bouts against Stallions and EVOS. Pero etong specific na mapa to na pinili ng MATTJESS, they are undefeated sa Impact Summer sa mapan to, no? Pero nakita pa rin natin kung nakaya pa rin sila expose. Pero yung contrast pa rin, hindi ko alam ano yung iniisip ng MATTJESS picking Black Widow and taking that GR spot.
Ito na naman tayo sa surprise factor. No, nakakagulat na naman uli. Bipolar, ikaw ba? Anong nasabi mo dito sa pick ni Execration?
You know what? I actually want to highlight yung sub-base ban natin dito for Execration. Yes, there is respect for MATTJESS and their expertise sa mapa na ito. Pero feeling ko kasi 50-50 for both of these teams pag pumasok tayo ng sub-base. So, actually questionable on my end. Pero looking at Black Widow, yes, I see the same sentiments with Salvatore. Pero Eagle Eye and New Compound, open maps might be a ZYK domination.
Pero love, Sneaky Frog. Siyempre, ikaw lang ang alam niya ng husto.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I would have wanted to see yung sub-base. Maganda sana yung labanan ng Execration dun sa mapa na yun, considering na, ayun nga, both teams are really good when it comes to this map. But at the same time, MATTJESS, no, they've gone farther than any other international team up against itong Stallions. So medyo nakakatakot yung ban na yun. Pero overall, I feel like yung veto na to is definitely gonna net us the most games. Kasi kagaya nga na sinabi ni Salvatore kanina, you know, the map pool is actually very, very similar between yung dalawang teams natin.
Ayan na nga, no? And with that being said, eto na, no? Saglit lang to. 2 teams, 2 numbers. Lay down your predictions. Ako nang mangunguna para sa inyo, no? Ako ay maglalapag ng 3-2. Execration ang panalo.
Execration 3-1 na nga ako dito, mabilisan. I feel like it's still catered sa Execration tong laron to.
Yeah, despite the back and forth ng map veto natin, I'll go with a 3-1 in favor of Execration.
Ayun, yeah. I actually want to do the opposite today. Feeling ko there is gonna be a pop-off happening. It happens every single time na third and fourth match itong MATTJESS. So I would like to say 3-2 MATTJESS para sa prediction ko dito.
Okay, that is hella spicy to say the least. And what's also crazy is yun nga, no, isa na MATTJESS ang prediction dito ni Sneaky Frog against all of us who actually catered dito para sa Execration. Pero ito na nga yun, no, it is gonna be the OA and the nonchalant tandem para sa ating laban ng battle for third. Bipolar, Sneaky Frog, kayo na to.
Akala ko po dito lang ang labanan natin between Execration and MATTJESS lang, pero parang mamaya sa panel desk pati Cassius desk mamaya maglalabanan din yan. Pero before that, it's gonna be a crazy afternoon and it's gonna be a crazy nighttime as well kasi MATTJESS versus Execration. Sneaky Frog, what are your thoughts sa labanan na ito?
I mean, it's nowhere else is more fitting to be in 4 p.m. on a Sunday, pare, other than regionals dito, man. I mean, MATTJESS and Execration, granted, past few years, I'm gonna admit, yung third and fourth place games natin have not been too interesting kasi usually it is a one-sided game. Pero ngayon, iba na yung usapan. It is MATTJESS versus Execration. Granted, Execration, I do have a feeling na meron silang slight edge, no, pagdating dito sa talent, considering yun nga, they have, you know, Fall X, CBN, and etong si D. But then at the same time, MATTJESS, no, you really can't predict kung anong mangyayari sa kanila in any map whatsoever. Hindi mo talaga alam kung magpo-pop off itong si Ninkyu, Zach, or any other player that is within the roster. So there is still that uncertainty, no, para dito sa MATTJESS. But at the same time, there's that uncertainty as well para sa Execration kasi they don't know what kind of form MATTJESS is gonna take on today, pare.
Yun na nga, may constant unpredictability, so you never know what you're gonna get. So it's gonna be a fun hell of a game for us here. Best of 5 series po ang pinaglalabanan ng ating mga teams, and again, the third place spot sa regional finals with a whopping good prize pool in the mix. So you better know na these two teams are gonna be heading in a battle na talagang maduguan. Man, yung map veto natin dito, we were expecting a sub base for both of these teams kasi alam naman natin with the Execration actually having that kind of may practice naman sila that in that place, so feeling there's some chances that we could have had like a sub base MATTJESS versus Execration, but no, sabi dito ng Execration, let's keep it simple, balikan lang tayo dito. You're predicting a 3-2 in favor of MATTJESS just because syempre there's Rels, nandyan si Zach, nandyan din si Ninkyu. Nakita din natin kahapon na despite them between Stallions, nakakapalag pa rin sila. They were able to get almost half of the round sa mga mapa nila kahapon.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like yung prediction ko is also kind of a dice roll kasi I really am banking on the key pieces are gonna perform today, no, para dito sa MATTJESS. But at the same time, I wouldn't be so surprised if we don't see it kasi yun nga, no, yung rawness ng ating team, obviously fielding 2 rookies. It wouldn't be too much of a surprise para sa akin if they don't end up performing, and that goes to yung responsibility goes back dito kay Rels at kay Jason to actually step up to the plate para sa kanilang team kasi ayun nga, if we remember yung performances dito ni Rels for the past few years, obviously once was a top 3 sniper at one point, and feeling ko with that amount of experience plus Jason with his fair share of experience dito sa tier 1 CF, I feel like ayun nga, no, could be something.
Yeah, could really be something. And moving on to the side naman dito ng ating Execration, you have ZYK, man. Kahapon, despite him having like the solo pushes every time, despite him holding down these sides to nasa GR sides against EVOS of all people, he was getting double kills before he was getting killed. Medyo naging lackluster din naman dito yung laruan ni A7J and ni D, especially on D, man. Feeling ko natamaan siya ng nervousness na this is one of his finals already, playoffs. Playoff start already So parang alam mo yun, natamaan agad siya first set pa lang kahapon. What are your thoughts?
I mean, that just goes to show na not everybody is Zetra, pare. Not everyone's gonna have like first season, immediate impact dito sa kanilang team, pare. We're more realistic about yung expectations ko para dito kay D. I really feel like he is very, very good, pare. But at the same time, I feel like up against Stallions, masyado mataas yung level nung time na yun
Yeah, pero ngayon, ang pag-uusapan natin is the Spartans of MATTJESS, and they already get the kill. Zach enters the first round with D taken out of the game. A7J nandito sa short. Zach will be owned. Zach will be going down. Samahan mo pa dito si Jason, and A7J starts over 2 kills. Triple kill pa nga para sa kanya. Hindi tapos ang laban dito, Sneaky. Dire-diretso kasi it's a 2v2 at si Folex, naku po, natamaan dito sa kanan niya, but he was able to push towards the spawn, able to get one. Buhay pa rin! Dodges all of the bullets! What a first round start for both of these teams.
Oh my God.
Buong HP pa rin naman, tinatamaan pa rin naman dito yung mga pader, pero Folex will fall down. A7J, kailangan kunin yung C4.
Yun lang, A7J a bit indecisive no kung saan siya pupunta dito sa ating mapa kasi there is an active fight going on between eto nga si Rels and etong si Folex, so he really couldn't decide anong gagawin niya with the information. Pero Rels, crossing from that position might make him regret it, pare. Down to half HP. So half HP yung dalawang players natin, both on the HK. And A7J looking for his 40 to sa round natin. Trading yung kanyang kapatid dun sa first round, pare.
Yeah, very, very, very deadly as well. So this is gonna be a matchup of the ages already. Simulan natin to. A7J, 3 kills, 2 headshots. Looking for his 4th. Rels trying to go for of the first round for MATTJESS. Both has utility, doesn't want to use it para hindi ma-expose yung kanilang pwestuhan. Pero 50 seconds, A7J moves towards mid, contemplates, goes towards short once again. Papunta dito sa A. Moving Rels, nasa box lang, eating like a dog, and he takes on and he gets the first round for MATTJESS.
Grabe naman yung 1v1 na yun, pare. Low-key kinda symbolic, no? Kinda feels like yung the whole KD versus Rusting back in the day bipolar na, ayun nga, MJ, Rels obviously deciding to stay and still gonna hold it down para sa kanyang team, pare. And now we do see the first round going in their way. Execration, medyo kalata pa nila map control. Importante na makuha nila yung LA dito. So they decided to go a bit more aggressive this time. Ninkyu, down to half HP. Having to be careful, pare. Alam mo naman yung masakit yung mga EBR na to. And A7J is gonna be the first one down.
I like this hold from MATTJESS, Nikki. Sobrang solid despite them moving all around down. Kasi kung titignan mo yung minimap natin ngayon, papalit-palit sila ng pwesto. And this provides them with all of the cover na hinahanap natin from the previous rounds when they were battling STS. Missed shot mula dito kay Zach D, already moving up, able to get one rails, falls down. Zach makakapatay pa rin naman, trade-offs after trade-offs. At babagal muli ang ating laban. Naiipit though ang ating mga players coming from Execration here in mid. They need to back off. Pero Yaba, YBA here in mid, they go towards long A. What an interesting position. Pero nandito si Zach, malapitan siya dito. The tear position, Zach, he gets spotted out. CBN knows! He knows! How does he know? And now they were able to go for a 3v3. Kung titignan nyo, Jason has no HP but he is still limping his way towards one of these sites.
Grabe, I would have expected na makakuha ng at least ng isa dito si Zach with that tear position, pare. Pero feeling ko CBN, he's gonna be more than online today. Ninkyu though will get ZYK. The head of the Dragons already dead. CBN looking for that trade. 2 versus 2. Piso na lang dito si Jason. Jason spotted sa stage. And all of a sudden, the turnaround galing dito sa Execration. Yaba na lang natitira. Has saved this team time and time again. Pero sa CBN na lang ang lalaban sa kanya dito. Pero Folex, CBN and Folex, what a nightmare of a 2v1 to have. Pero Yaba, hindi natatakot. Pero CBN trading his boy. And there is a 1-1 para dito sa Execration, man. Sweaty yung round, ha?
Man, parang MATTJESS season ngayon for Execration. Pinipitas isa-isa, kinukuha ng ng one by one yung mga players natin here on the GR side. And now, going into the third round, aggressive approach mula dito kay Yaba, pushes out of house, be able to spot out CBN, one of our headshot machines for Execration.
Yun lang, not the unk reaction time, pare. Para dito kay ZYK. Couldn't catch him crossing, unfortunately. And yun lang, buti na lang bumawi nila. No more reaction time needed. Why not pre-A mid? Jason na andito na sa short. And this is a lot of information na nakukuha nga dito ni ZYK. And that's gonna allow Execration to look at this A site, pare.
And with him still alive, he's gonna be peeking out in mid mula sa BL spawn. Nag-rush na nga sila dito, 3-man strong. Zach will get the first shot in. Folex falls down. At pangalaw pa nga, A7J. Nauubos bigla mga players coming in from Execration. They tinatangki lahat. Still in the box. ZYK hindi pa sumasama. Z, mamamatay pa din. And that's the C4. Kaso nga lang, na-spot outan si ZYK. Yaba finds him lacking.
Grabe, 2-1. And I think one of the most underrated things about itong matches is sometimes they can really peel back as far as possible pagdating sa kanilang depensa, but at the same time, they can just pop out of nowhere in any corner na hindi ina-expect nga dito ng ating Execration na squad. And grabe, that first B-joust na nakita natin, para canceling B-site immediately. Parang alam na agad ng matches that it is gonna be an A-hit.
Yeah, parang alam din nila na parang they know kung sa round na to dito pupunta. The adjustments from MATTJESS has been insane. So far, the GR side has been so solid. Hindi makapasok ng walang madugong players mula dito sa Execration. Just one time though, ang nakuha nga nila that LA area nung si Folex and as well as other squad were able to get 2 kills. Pero ngayon, B has been taken. Hindi lalabanan ni Yaba o ni YBA ditong house B. So CBN is gonna be carrying a lot here. Kasama si ZYK using the flash, waiting for the right opportunity. Yaba not yet spotting Execration outside of this B site. Di gumagalaw though. Meanwhile, 3 players moving towards A mula dito sa mid. Ano nga ba plano dito ni ZYK? Here comes the flash. They go in. Mukhang distraction play to. Kasi dalawang side ang pupuntahan nila. Pero si Zach hindi naman nananaig. Sabi niya kaya ko makukuha ng isa. Ninkyu on the other side. Zach with a double kill. On this A side. Ninkyu with a double as well. Double trouble now for MATTJESS. At mag-isa lang dito si D. The man to do it is not gonna be doing it this round. Di nakuha ng isa. Pero MATTJESS now gets another point.
Yun lang. I mean, it's a really messed up P-split na ginawa nga dito ng Execration. It was supposed to be 3 players falling down into spawn, tapos na try nilang isa-round itong B-site, no? Pero feeling ko ready dun yung matches. The Sniper and the HK doing in work. Pero speaking of HK, pare, A7J has been very effective with that weapon. Pero speaking of effective, pare, Zach 7-2 in this game with that kill kay CBN. Grabe, man, nag-iinit na dito yung dalawang teams. It's literally fist fighting at the start of the round.
Man, 5th round pa lang to, nakikita mo na agad bakbakan kung bakbakan at madugong labanan ang nakikita mo ngayon. D needs to go up these boxes. Kasama niya dito yung kapatid niya. They're gonna be going out in an instant. No flash needed. D pushing out. Zack still alive. Zack fall down. May isa pa rin naman si Rels makakuha ng isang Ninkyu nandito sa kaliwa. Kailangan niya mabuhay dito pero mamatay pa din siya. D with a pistol and CYK with a quick scope. On to Rels. Nasa likuran daw si Jason. It's a 1v3. Pinitas ang isa pangalawa. Mamatay ata si CYK. Mawawala din. And 87J versus Jason. Yung C4 malapitan lang pero parehas silang nagmi-mirror sneaky. They're going towards A and for some reason A7J doesn't have any more smokes, no more flashes, no more grenades. Still has 96 HP. And comparing it right now onto Jason, he has more. Pero the shots have been hitting for both of these players, both with 4 kills, 30 seconds left, moving towards mid. Tama ata ang decision dito ni Jason. Pupunta siya sa stage. Dito atang showdown natin. Pero he's gonna go under. They're gonna be meeting. Na kay A7G na yung advantage. Just all he needs to do is peek out at the right time. Playing for seconds. 10, 9, 8. Here comes the defuse. Jason not looking at the right spot. And Matt just gives a round to Execration.
Yun lang, Jason a bit indecisive dito sa 1v1 natin, but at the same time, you know, just another good late round para nga dito sa ating Execration squad. And at the same time, a stellar entry, no? Para dito kay A7J. I mean, removing Yaba immediately creates a bit of mystery dito sa B-site. Pero yun lang. I mean, it's really tough para dito sa MATTJESS to try and see if they can you know, fist fight every single round. Para I do want to see them kind of catching some of these plays galing sa Execration kasi yun nga, they're getting LA for free, mid for free, pare, they're getting B waters for free. So I think most of yung aggression nila is gonna be placed towards yung short area natin, pero that's gonna leave the A side vulnerable, but not for long. Naku po, what a shot, Rels.
Rels spotting out A7J out of nowhere. Ngayon Sneaky, medyo komportable ngayon ng matches, but Jason planted here right now. Close towards mid, malapit din siya dito. Kay Fall X, kay D of all people. But he goes out unscathed, di pa rin naman sugat, hindi pa rin naman nakakapatay dito ang buong Execration. Switch up to the guns para may onting advantage. Double TRG, sniper as well. Ang setup ngayon dito ng matches. Pero CBN leaning towards mid. No help, mag-isa lang muna tayo dito pero Rels will be backed off with the help of that sniper. Look at this 4-man defense close towards A. Ninkyu, right spot, gets that kill onto CBN.
Grabe, sure na sure sila wala talagang lalabas ng LA, pare. But look at this angle galing kay Zack. It's a free double spray. D at ZYK down. Fall X na lang natitira dito. Mid doors. Gonna be wide open, Paul. You are good, brother, pero not good enough to go up against 5 MATTJESS members dito. 2 and 4 MATTJESS defending well dito sa Black Widow, pare. Execration, yung usual na aggressive style, kagaya nga na sinabi ni 02 being, you know, medyo pubby style. Ayun lang, men, pubby rin yung kalaban nyo dito. They know exactly how these moves work.
Yeah, nagkakabasahan yung mga players natin dito ngayon just because they complement each other and somewhat equal footing tayo ngayon. But right now, first time ulit, papasok dito ng A possibly, pero alam natin Zack has been hitting the shots. Nakita niya na nga peeking out. And habang namamatay dito si Volex and Matches gets 3. They get 4 as well as Zack gets the double kill of his life. ZYK peeking out, pero sino ang mas magaling na sniper right now? It's Zack in this matchup.
Grabe, 12 and 3 para dito kay Zack. What a hold from him, especially catching yung falling short player, making sure yung RS natin is exclusively for the LA players, yung angle, and ayun nga, that's basically done deal para dun sa Execration. Execration now starting to be more structured, no, pagdating dito sa kanilang mga executes, and obviously it is not working against itong MATTJESS. Yung kanilang default at the moment, despite not having too much presence sa mid, is working out para sa kanila dito.
I like what you said rin kanina, no? Parang wala silang pake sa LA, man. All of them were leaning towards that mid position. Tapos tamang-tama yung sipat dito ng buong MATTJESS. Ngayon, with Execration being more careful, nakakapag-set up lalo ang matches. You can see in the minimap as well, di na sila masyado magalaw. They're just playing default right now. Pero CBN, going towards House B again, wants to go for another try. Pinadala muna dito si ZYK. This is the 4-1 offense defense na inaabangan natin for Execration. They are the only ones to do it. Some distraction plays coming from ZYK. A7J might pushing out. But look at the smoke, man. Saktong-sakto. And now activating Ninkyu.
Uy!
A7J spotted out ata. They see the muzzle flash.
Baba-
Ninkyu
baba
hindi
isa.
bumabaril though. Gumagawa siya ng position right now.
I think he's looking for more. I mean, granted, meron na silang information kung nasan dito yung sniper. But that flash is not gonna help his case, that's for sure. Ninkyu better be ready for this flash or this is gonna be done deal para sa kanya dito. D gonna spot his foot! Ayun lang! That's the danger of that angle as the site is gonna be taken para dito Execration Rels in the window B position. Meron pa naman tao na nasa loob ng doors pero nakakross si Folex! CBN, how do you hit that shot through the smoke? Sa ulo dito ni Rels. And it is a retake situation para sa MATTJESS pero alam mo naman to, Bipolar, the B site is so hard to retake but Yaba's trying.
Yaba's trying, and it's all up to Zach as he gives off his life. 26 seconds, a TRG, 12 kills by the way, Sneaky. How did he get 12 kills in 7 rounds? I do not know, pero mukhang magiging 13 pa ata, but never mind. It was D to make the play for them to get into B side, and that is 3-5.
Yeah, very risky play para dun kay Ninkyu noon and obviously didn't pay off. But if it did, para if they forgot to check that left corner ng House B, this would have been a different story. This would have been 6-2 para sa MATTJESS. So good awareness para sa Execration in those very very last-on corners nga pwede natin tawagin dito. But once again, it's MATTJESS, early presence lang dito sa long, backing off all the way to A. I can get yung logic nila dito, no? They really do not want to peek into yung terrace natin. Instead, they'd rather just greet the fight out in the open dito sa long.
Yeah, it gives them more firepower kasi merong people sa mid. Ngayon, you can see Rels and Ninkyu able to get 2 kills out of nowhere. A7J nakakuha din naman ng isa. Pero Zach, kahit na umakit ka pa dyan, he knows where to look. And now it's a 2v4 in an instant. A skirmish in mid, a skirmish in short, and as well as here in long A, was able to dwindle down the players of Execration. A7J titikim ulit, pero Rels knows where he's at. Patay agad dito. At muli, Folex ang natitira, and MATTJESS cleans up house.
There we go, MATTJESS. Looking very sharp dito sa mapa natin. I mean, to be fair, no, Bipolar, we did kind of expect this, especially coming in from the MATTJESS squad, especially knowing that they can play that very aggressive GR side na nahihirapan dito Execration. But now, we are gonna see MATTJESS on their BL side. Obviously, meron din silang kalawan dito sa Black Widow, no? But it is very, very different kumpara dito sa Execration.
Execration looking towards having a more fruitful GR side. This 2-on-2 setup kung saan na si D ngayon malapitan lang sa doors. Amazing kill against Ninkyu. Can ZYK also find some more people here? The smoke is disappearing. But there's also some people moving towards House B. It's gonna be Yaba as well. So mukhang maglilin forward sila dito towards B-side. Sneaky, ito na yung buong push ng MATTJESS. But Folex reading the room. Nakikita nga dito si Rels in an instant headshot. How did he do that? At ngayon, they're getting pinched. Naiipit sila dito. Plus, natapos na C4. Pero Yaba will get the kill. And get double. Yes, he can. Di kailangan ng headshot. Just tap all the way. At yung kaninang 5v2 is now a 3v2. But the C4 still not in their hands. ZYK, tamang-tama yung pwesto. Pero there's an obstacle in front of him. At ngayon, they need to play slow. 1 minute still. There's still a lot of time. Kaso nga lang Yaba dodges the bullet. ZYK peeking out and finally hits the shot out to Zach. Yaba, bakit sila nagpo-push? The C4 is not yet in their hands. Kailangan nila kunin to.
I mean, they're probably in the mindset na, ayun nga, yung C4 is all the way in base. This has tried to kill them all, and unfortunately, that plan did not work out in their favor, pare. And that very, signature short push na ginagawa nga dito ni Folex, no? I mean, we even see this back in Vanguard where he really just does challenge itong akyata natin constantly para makreate ng pressure itong mid para sa Execration and even on his prior teams. So MATTJESS, obviously not expecting that amount of aggression this early dito sa laruan natin, especially from that short area, is gonna pay for this one dearly. 6-4 A7J getting that last kill. 4th point para sa Execration, and this could be the start of the turnaround dito sa laruan natin.
Crazy round now for Execration. They go up 4-6. Looking at the instant replay, man. Ito nga talaga Folex pushing towards Akiatan, able to spot out people, and they read the room right. Kaso nga lang Yaba making a little bit of difference there in that round. But ultimately, it was still Execration's round to win. This 2-2 setup coming in from Execration, still pushing up Polex. Despite him having 4 to 10, still going for kills. Yaba able to spot out ZYK at CBN. Instant trade-off, man. What a shot.
No, I thought we lost CBN for a second here, pare, kasi he only has one headshot throughout the game, but then he reminds us who he is. And immediately, a 4 versus 4 recouped. Fortunately, para kay MATTJESS, no? It is, buhay pa naman dito si Ninkyu. So they still do have an entry fragger. Jason, medyo dangerous ang kanyang position dito sa B-side. And I think it might be high time para dito sa MATTJESS to just concede yung try to get Water's position. Maybe try and get B from somewhere else. Maybe from mid, maybe from A-side. Pero limited lang yung options nila dito sa B-side ng mapa, pare.
Yep. Very hard. Ngayon, they try their luck towards A, and this aggressiveness mula dito sa Execration gives them a lot of information, at dahil dyan, they will fight a 4v4 here in long A. Folex walang makikita dito, but he can peek out, and now he spots out Jason. Ninkyu makakuha ng isa. Folex with the first, and they clean once again the headshot machines. Triple headshot for Execration.
There we go. The headshot machines are now starting to activate dito, pare. Ayun nga, CBN back online in this game, seeing what he can do. Pero si Folex, I mean, we have yet to see so much galing dito kay Paul, no? I mean, 5 and 10 so far in this game, so there's definitely more room to show para sa kanya dito. But Execration, you can really feel the shift in momentum dito sa laruan natin as soon as they got into that GR side. A lot more comfortability para sa kanila dito, which is surprising para sa MATTJESS, no? Who is usually known para dito sa kanilang strong BL side, and especially that early map control. Pero yun nga, no? Medyo mabagal yung kanilang galawan at the start of this.
Yeah, plus the setup's not really hitting right now, and this provides CYK all of this place to play around. Nag-push mula sa Waters, mula sa House B, now here in mid. And MATTJESS, medyo na-shock sa labanan na ito kasi napupush back sila towards the BL spawn, kung saan sila dapat ang gumagawa ng aggression. Folex falls back. They have all of mid once again. Mukhang 60% ng mapa natin in the hands of Execration. MATTJESS can only play around this mid area. And Zach, ZYK under the bridge.
What? How did he hit that shot? Sobrang thin ng margin na yun, ha, by the way. Just to get ZYK off of his position, and that could have potentially saved itong... Oh, that could have potentially saved itong MATTJESS. Zach is popping off in the short position. That's his third. Nako po, talk about star players. We have to talk about Zach, pare. A7J na lang natitira. MATTJESS potentially their 7th unless A7J has something to say about this. Rails 1 HP. Pero mapapatakbo na yung MATTJESS papasok dito ng B-side. A7J full HP still. This is very winnable, pero MATTJESS, they got more numbers.
More time. Bomb has not been planted yet. A7J, dalawa ang kailangan tignan. House B as well as dito sa may kabaong. 30 seconds.
Good patience.
Napipigilan ni A7J for some reason yung pagplanta dito because they're so low on HP. A7J peeks out. Wide flick towards the left, pero di pa rin naman tatama. Yaba with the TRG peeking out at the right time, and he gets the kill. 7-5. A7J unsuccessful retake.
Yun lang, A7J could have just waited out for that C4 to be picked up. Pero he's not waiting for that opportunity for Ninkyu to get that free swing on him. And unfortunately, that aggression is gonna make him pay dearly. But that's a bit of revenge para sa kanya, pare. A7J will get Ninkyu. 4 versus 5 at the start of the round, pero knowing kasi the nature ng rounds natin dito, Bipolar, I mean, just because it's a 4v5 doesn't mean it's over, pare.
It's not yet over. It's the battle for third, Sneaky. Anything can happen. Di na natin kailangan mag-predict because look at this.
That's what I'm saying.
Rels finds ZYK. Man, I feel like ZYK ngayon is having a tough time against MATTJESS. 5-11 is insane. And look at A7J. Siya ngayon ang humawak ng TRG. 12 kills already.
Grabe. The TRG really in the hands, or on the right hands, para dito sa ating team. But MATTJESS still kind of confused kung ano gusto nila yung kukunin dito. B-site. Could be potentially something. Yaba looking for an opportunity, looking for any head. CBN spotted ang kanyang tagiliran dito. CBN down to point. Have to be the door player. Stepping up to the plate, turnaround D. Could not hit the shot and mamamatay. That is potentially a free B site. Pero C4 na naman dito sa talunan. Tignan mo kung sino yung nasa likod.
It's A7J looking for some praise. Pero hindi niya na-spot out. Kasi nandun naman sa akyatan, now he's wrapping all around, retracing the footsteps of MATTJESS. 2v2, 50 seconds. Rels and Zac both with the TRGs. Very heavy weapons, but can provide a lot of damage. Magsama-sama muna Execration ngayon. They're going for a 2 for 2 retake right now. 35 seconds. And still, looking at the utilities, onti na lang dito for a MATTJESS, but looking at the shots, yan ang hindi na pukulang.
Alright, wow.
Sobra-sobra pa nga. Zac finally finds his 17th kill. A7J na naman ang gagawa ng milagro. Can he do it in this time? 1v2. 35 seconds din na kailangan mag-antay. Pero Zac, late in the flick. Looking at this, A7J will fall down once again against Zac of all people.
There we go, Zac. Generational performance pagdating dito sa Black Widow map natin para 18 and 7 on that TRG. And he is not looking back at all. Even si Rel's actually joining him on the TRG party, but it is now back on the rifles para sa kanya dito. And I have a feeling that this is gonna be a very fast A-split. Kailangan nila maging careful from that short position. A7J will get Jason a fast trade. Galing kay Zac, Paul X trying to do something dito sa slope, pero si Nate makakuha sa kanya dito. ZYK getting the player crossing. Meron pa naman tao na nasa loob ng hagdan. Rels would get the clear. Nakatalikod sila lahat, pare. And just like that, MATTJESS, once the fight starts, it never stops para sa kanila dito. Not even a C4 plant.
Man, kung saan napunta yung MATTJESS doon. Tatlo sa A, isa sa mid, tapos isa sa B. Pero here, in our 15th round, ZYK gets that kill onto Rels. Pero magpupush yung Folex with the flash combined. Gets one, possibly two. Pero Jason naiipit na nga ngayon dito sa box. Folex falls down. A7J with D helping hand in hand with the pala kill. Pero Yaba, nakapatay na nga dito ng isa. It's a 2 versus 3. Zac low in HP. Pero si Yaba ang lason ngayon sa labanan na ito. He's been at the backlines and he finds CBN. A7J, if he pushes, he knows where the C4 is. Pero si Yaba, alam niya nga ba nandito si A7J, tumatalon ka pa! Maglakad ka na lang at dahil dyan, Execration still alive, 9-6.
Grabe, Execration hanging on for dear life. Napakagulo pa rin na game natin. No? We went from A to B in terms of all of these fights. And Execration now starting to catch some of the patterns na ginagawa nga dito ng MATTJESS, and it's getting a bit more predictable. But we're gonna have to see if that's gonna be consistent enough para matalo itong MATTJESS na squad. Zac looking through the smoke. He can smell someone inside, but a rare miss dito kay Folex. That's gonna give Execration their control, pare.
Yeah, unreal. 0.1% lang yon na nag-miss si Zac. At yung pinakamadaling shot pa yun na miss niya. Unable to get the 20th kill of his lifetime.
Everybody's fumbling pa.
Everybody's in their nerves, man. Set number 1. Gusto nila ng third placer at least. They were so close in getting that Chengdu passport or ticket towards Chengdu. And even the finals bound para ZYK now. Able to spot out Zac. Nakaganti na rin sa wakas dito ang sniper ng Execration.
Grabe,
Looking at it, Rails, man, he might finally spot someone here pero hindi kumakagat ang Execration.
Yeah, look at how far back they're playing. Itong MATTJESS actually, they really are trying to catch that aggression ng Execration dito, no? Bipolar. But at the same time, you know, they're really displaying numbers in general. No, I think they know na magkahiwalay lahat ng mga players dito. But Folex, second attempt in this stair position. Is it gonna be effective this time? Pero makikita siya agad. Tapped out with the HK immediately. Pero A7J, nakabawi agad dito kay Ninkyu. 3 players still strong dito sa LA. Pero mapapabalik sila dito sa Ali, unfortunately. And they're gonna have to reroute kasi masyado madaming tao dito sa A site.
Yeah, they're so scared of A7J as well. They want to fight ZYK because he's been missing the shots every time. Stage position, Rel speaking out, and this is the showtime for MATTJESS. Palapit ng palapit, and it's becoming even more possible. Bamboozle play going towards mid, pero hindi kakagat ang buong Execration. 2-man defense. CBN sa baba, A7J sa taas, at makakapatay agad si CBN. Instant trade-off mula kay Yaba, and Rels finally fights A7J. It's D versus Rels. 16 seconds. He can play for time. The C4 is there. Pero Rels malapit na nga lang. The shot will not connect. Still has a flashbang. The plant will go in 40 seconds now. Resetting the timer. D nasa stairs. Rails doesn't know. Rails now. Picking out D. Pinaglalaroan. This is so shifty. Pero tapos na ang set number 1 and MATTJESS unrelentless, not even phased.
Grabe naman si Rels dun pare, parang sinabi niya, I'll beat you and your brother in this first set pare. 10-6 on this Black Widow. MATTJESS with an impressive defense and offense. Grabe. What a freaking performance from the stars dito sa ating MATTJESS squad pare.
Oh man, MATTJESS, you're making me a believer now, Sneaky. Diyos ko po, yung 3-2 scoreline mo, it's possible. With this kind of setup mula dito sa ating MATTJESS, it was crazy. Almost 20 kills, I think, already for Zach. Everyone having double digits. And I think Yaba, man, si Yaba din talaga, you have to highlight this man because he's been back and forth every time sa likuran ng Execration.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think Yapa is, the most annoying player para dun sa ating Execration na squad. No, time and time again that he has found, a kill on the other side of the map, or maybe an odd entry, para sa kanyang team, maybe even a kill through the smoke. I think him and Ninkyu really do such a great job of opening up yung map para dito sa MATTJESS, and I really like it kasi medyo nagba-match with yung current, ayun nga, I know na everyone likes to talk about, there's no meta at all, there's no meta, pero ayun nga, having 2 attackers on your team who can also lurk at the same time is very, very useful. And ayun nga, it's very impressive galing dito sa MATTJESS na hindi lang tayo nakakita ng, yung usual pubby kind of play, but we also saw yung, methodical, fast pa rin, pero methodical, more methodical kind of play.
Yeah, I mean, Sneaky, what a first set instead, pero holy Mother of God, it's time to go to the panel muna as we relax and look at the stats. It's Mochi and Salvatore, kayo naman.
Tama ka dyan, no? Kami naman, mukhang nakakagulat at maraming nangyari doon sa ating Black Widow. Maliban nga sa part na isang malupitang amalgamation of strategies and as well as pub play ang nakita natin dito, Salvatore. Talagang nagpakitang gilas ang MATTJESS dito.
Matagal nang tinatago ng MATTJESS yung Black Widow nga nila sa regionals no? Pero kung ikukumpara mo sa ginawa nila nung Impact Summer, it's still that domination from Yaba and as well as kay Zach, no? Yung first half na yun, hindi biro yung ginagawa ng Execration para talaga isabayan yung aggression dito ng MATTJESS. But when time came para dito sa second half na to, hindi pa natinag dito si Zach sa pagkuha ng 2 to 3 kills just to get that high ground for them to get that easy entry, no? MATTJESS with their flexibility, kitang-kita nga naman talaga, Mochi, no? Kasi kung hindi mo maaasahan si Zach makuha yung early kill na yon, si Rels at si Ninkyu na yung gagawa ng paraan. If not them, it's either Yaba nga naman. Kaya siya ay katabi dito ni Zach pagdating sa ating kill leaderboards, no? So, Paul X, the moment na umabot tayo ng second half, sabi ko nga sa'yo, he was the winning condition. But he always gets picked off. Nakakakuha nga siya ng tear control, nakahanap niya yung Storby na control, pero the moment na lumalayag talaga siya, nababasa pa rin talaga ng MATTJESS yun. It's the readability of Execration that always gets them caught, and MATTJESS is that huge of a prospect para ma-expose yung pagkakamali ng Exe.
And not to mention that the body system is definitely present din dito kay MATTJESS, no? Laging naiiwan nitong si Fall X and sometimes it's all up to A7J o kung sino man tumatao doon sa side para makapag-trade sa kanya. Pero unfortunately, hindi yun nangyayari at hindi nila nagagawa, continuously being overwhelmed and continuously being faulty in terms of pacing dito na ine-exert sa kanila ni MATTJESS. And not to mention, look at the performance din dito, no, ni YBA and Rels. At tulad na sabi ko, hindi makuha ni Zach with a 2.11 KD ang mga early pickups natin dito. Matik na merong follow-up, matik na merong re-responde.
Sobrang linis trinabaho na mula dito sa Cebu. Zach really delivered one heck of a performance na hindi makakalimutan ng kahit sinong nanonood, no? Because he continues to blow everyone's minds and as well as their expectations kung paano nga ba talaga laruin ng perfectong sniper, no? Si Zach talagang isang magandang halimbawa, no, na you can never count out a team hanggat hindi pa nila naaabot ang punong dulo ng lahat ng to, no? They are still in contention for a possible championship appearance. If not this year, then probably next year. Pero kung makikita mo, no, in this battle for third, Zach is still delivering his 100%. Every time a deep push na makikita mo mula sa Execration, maasahan mong nandun si Zach.
Yeah, definitely a monstrous performance dito, no, kay Zach and the bunch, definitely being able to provide whatever they would need in order to meet that victory dito sa kada isang round na meron dito sa mapa ng Black Widow, to the point na yung mga winning conditions dito from Execration has been neutralized, has been nullified, and they got no other way in order to recover from that one. Pero yan ang ating unang storya dito sa mapa ng Black Widow, at tayo magbabalik para sa ating ikalawang laban nila. And another map, once again, Mochi and Salvatore on the panel. Kami magbabalik after a quick short break.